Kharavela of Kalinga. Kharavela ruled the kingdom of Kalinga during the 2nd century BCE. He emerges from the records as an able ruler and conqueror. Kharavela built up a powerful and vast kingdom through military conquests. His achievements have been known to us through inscriptions that he left behind. The important Hathigumpha inscription, carved on a cave wall, narrates Kharavela's victories in detail. This was the very place where Ashoka fought the mighty Kalinga War. It emerged as a major power during Kharavela's reign despite the rise of the Mauryan Empire. Administration under Kharavela. Kharavela was the king of the ancient kingdom of Kalinga in the 2nd century BCE. His inscriptions give insights into the administration under his rule. Kharavela administered Kalinga using officials appointed to high positions. Important officials mentioned in his inscriptions include Mahamatyas, chief ministers who advised the king and managed the overall administration. Senapatis, army generals who commanded the armed forces. Kharavela himself led many military campaigns. Dandanayakas, officials in charge of law and order. They maintained security within the kingdom. Bogadyakshas, officials in charge of finance. They managed the kingdom's revenue and expenditures. The kingdom was divided into provinces called mandalas and districts called rashtras and visayas. Local officials governed these regions under the central administration. Kharavela's inscriptions mention donations of land to temples and Jain monks. This implies there were officials who maintained land records and managed agriculture. Kharavela encouraged trade and commerce. During his reign, Kosambi on the Yamuna and Tosali on the coast emerged as important trading cities. Many foreign traders visited Kalinga. The Mauryan rulers threatened Kalinga's independence. Kharavela launched military campaigns against Magad and other neighboring kingdoms to expand Kalinga's power. Kharavela spent wealth from these military campaigns on welfare and development work. He built temples, rest houses, water facilities, gardens and parks for public use. Officials must have overseen this construction work. Kharavela employed a bureaucracy or system of officials to efficiently govern the vast Kalinga kingdom. Senior officials advised the king, while lower-level officers implemented administrative and developmental work. Provincial administration. The kingdom of Kalinga was divided into provinces called mandalas and districts called rashtras and visayas. Local officials called mahamatras governed provinces under Kharavela. They collected taxes, maintained law and order and oversaw development work in their areas. The districts under provinces were administered by officials like Visayapatis and Rashtrapathis. They reported to the provincial governors and carried out the king's policies at local levels. Municipal administration. Kharavela built rest houses, water facilities, parks and gardens for citizens in towns and cities. Officials must have managed the urban amenities and infrastructure. Officials called Nagarayuktas or Nagaradyakshas probably administered municipal areas. They maintained law and order, managed civic facilities and collected municipal taxes in cities. The rise of Magad under the Mauryan rulers posed a threat to Kalinga's independence, so Kharavela launched military campaigns against Magad and other kingdoms. The wealth from these wars funded Kharavela's administrative and development activities. Kharavela spent on building temples, rest houses, water facilities and parks that improved public welfare. Officials oversaw this construction work. Economy under Kharavela. Under the Mauryan rulers, Kharavela's kingdom of Kalinga also prospered economically. His inscriptions provide insights into the economy during his rule. Agriculture formed the base of Kalinga's economy. The kingdom had fertile land suitable for farming. Kharavela built canals and dams to provide irrigation. This boosted agricultural production. Kharavela's donations of land to temples show the importance of land revenue. Officials probably collected land taxes from farmers, which filled the kingdom's coffers. Kharavela carried out many military campaigns. The treasures and wealth looted from defeated kingdoms enriched Kalinga. This wealth funded Kharavela's development activities. Trade and commerce flourished under Kharavela. Port cities like Tosali and Chandraput gained importance. Many foreign traders from places like Rome and Greece visited Kalinga. Industries like metalworks, textiles and shipbuilding existed. Artisans and craftsmen created objects that were traded within and outside the kingdom. Kharavela spent the wealth he gained on building public works like rest houses, wells, tanks and temples. This stimulated the economy and created jobs. Agriculture. Agriculture formed the backbone of Kalinga's economy during Kharavela's reign. The kingdom had fertile land and a suitable climate for growing rice, vegetables, sugarcane, sesame and pulses. Kharavela built canals, dams and irrigation systems, which boosted agricultural production. Officials probably collected land taxes from farmers, which filled the kingdom's treasury. The surpluses from agriculture provided food for the population and raw materials for industries. Trade and commerce. Trade and commerce flourished under Kharavela, especially foreign trade. Port cities like Tosali and Chandraput gained importance due to foreign trade. Many foreign traders from Rome, Greece and West Asia visited Kalinga and traded goods. Kalinga exported items like spices, cotton, silk, ivory and pepper. It imported items like wine, gold and glassware. Industries. Various small and large-scale industries existed in Kalinga during Kharavela's reign. Metalworking industries produced items like tools, weapons and coins. Textile industries created cloth which was traded within and outside the kingdom. Shipbuilding industries built seafaring vessels that aided foreign trade. Artisans and craftsmen created objects of art like sculptures and paintings. Public works. Kharavela spent the wealth he gained to build numerous public facilities. He constructed rest houses, wells, tanks, temples, parks and gardens across the kingdom. This spending on construction and infrastructure stimulated the economy by creating jobs for workers, artisans, craftsmen and officials. Society under Kharavela. Kharavela supported Jainism and donated wealth to Jain monasteries and monks. However, he tolerated other religions, also. The inscriptions mention artisans, craftsmen, workers, traders and officials during Kharavela's time. So there must have been different social classes and occupations. Kharavela built numerous public facilities like rest houses, wells, tanks, temples, parks and gardens. These would have benefited the common people. Kalinga engaged in trade with foreign lands. This exposure likely brought new cultural influences as well. Religion. Though Kharavela supported Jainism, he tolerated other religions in Kalinga. The king donated wealth to Jain monks and also built Jain temples during his reign. Other religions like Hinduism and Buddhism likely existed alongside Jainism in the kingdom. Kharavela's inscriptions mention public facilities like rest houses and wells built for the happiness of the four orders. The four orders refer to Jain ascetics. However, these facilities would have benefited people of all religions in Kalinga. Social classes. The inscriptions mention officials, traders, craftsmen and workers during Kharavela's time. This implies there were different social classes in the Kalinga society like rulers, officials, merchants, artisans and laborers. The king and his royal family formed the highest social class. They ruled the kingdom and enjoyed wealth and luxuries. Officials and bureaucrats formed the next class who assisted in administering the kingdom. Merchants engaged in both internal and external trade. Artisans made craft objects while workers were employed in agriculture, construction and industries. Women in society. The inscriptions do not mention the role of women in detail, but queen wives or mothers of the king are referred to. This suggests that women occupied respectable positions within the household though they did not directly participate in the administration. Women likely engaged in household tasks like cooking, childcare and managing the home. Some may have worked as traders or artisans as well. Culture and arts. Kalinga engaged in foreign trade with places like Rome and Greece. This exposure likely introduced new cultural influences to the kingdom in fields like sculpture, handicrafts, literature and architecture. Kharavela's inscriptions mention craftsmen creating objects of ivory and iron. This shows the presence of artistic professions. The public facilities built by Kharavela would have served as meeting places for people, thereby encouraging social interaction and cultural exchange. Hathigumpha inscription of Kharavela. The Hathigumpha inscription of Kharavela is one of the most important sources of history about ancient Kalinga. The inscription was carved on a cave wall located at the Hathigumpha or Elephant Cave near Bhubaneswar in Odisha. It was commissioned by Kharavela, the ruler of Kalinga, from around 195 to 172 BCE. The inscription describes Kharavela's military victories and administrative achievements. The inscription was written in Brahmi script and the Arda Magadhi Prakrit language, both used at that time. It provides valuable details about Kalinga under Kharavela, his conquests against neighboring kingdoms and his welfare activities for the public. Script and language. The Hathigumpha inscription is written in the Brahmi script, which was used extensively in ancient India from the 5th century BCE. The language used is Arda Magadhi Prakrit, a Middle Indo-Aryan language related to Magadhi Prakrit. Prakrit languages were vernaculars used alongside Sanskrit. The inscription has 26 lines written from right to left in the Brahmi script. Some lines are damaged, so parts of the text are lost. Contents of the inscription. The inscription starts by placing Kharavela in the Mahameghavahana dynasty, referring to kings who ride on great elephants. It mentions that Kharavela began his military campaigns in the 16th year of his rule. He first attacked Kosala and captured its capital Hathigumpha. Then he attacked Magadha and its capital Pataliputra. He conquered Tosali, an important port town under Magadha's control. Kharavela also defeated the rulers of Ahichachatra and Mathura. After his victories, he celebrated in Mamallapuram on the Ganges River. The inscription mentions that Kharavela constructed many public structures like temples, rest houses, water tanks, parks and gardens for the happiness of citizens. Information about Kalinga. The inscription provides valuable insights about Kalinga under the Mauryan Empire. It mentions Kalinga's geopolitical location in relation to kingdoms like Kosala, Magadha and Panchala that Kharavela conquered. It describes Kalinga's powerful military and naval strength, which Kharavela used to expand his kingdom. The existence of a well-organized administration under Kharavela is implied by the construction of numerous public works. The mention of thriving trade suggests a prosperous economy in Kalinga, with port cities like Tosali gaining importance. Significance of the inscription. The Hathigumpha inscription is a primary source of history about Kalinga. It sheds light on Kharavela's military victories, administration and welfare activities, details not found in any other source. The inscription establishes the chronology of Kharavela's reign and places him within the Mahameghavahana dynasty of Kalinga. It shows that Kalinga emerged as an important geopolitical power during Kharavela's rule, able to conquer neighboring kingdoms at the height of the Mauryan Empire's power. Conclusion. Kharavela emerges from the records as one of the greatest rulers of ancient Kalinga. Through his military campaigns, he expanded the frontiers of his kingdom and made Kalinga powerful. Under his rule, Kalinga prospered economically and culturally. Kharavela spent wealth for the welfare of his subjects by building temples, rest houses, water facilities and parks. The inscriptions he left behind provide valuable insights about Kalinga during his reign. They helped establish Kharavela as an able ruler who administered his vast kingdom efficiently, even during the rise of the Mauryan Empire. Thank you.